Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to play Star Trek Judgment Rites. This is an older game. Very old. Not too old. I'm not that old. But this is a game that I played when I was younger, and it's a Star Trek adventure game. It came after the Star Trek 25th Anniversary Edition. The cool thing is that back in my day, the game that I had didn't actually... the characters didn't actually talk. In this version, they do, so I'm kind of just gonna... I want to replay this just to have some fun with it and sort of relive some of my childhood. Now, because this is an older game, OBS may not take so kindly to it from time to time, so if things go crazy or, you know, there's some technological issues, that's to be expected. Alright, let's go ahead and give this a go. So for those of you Star Trek fans out there, hopefully you'll enjoy this. I'll put this on easy. I don't want to put this on... On Federation Cadet, there's no combat whatsoever, space combat, but I do want some space combat, so... Because pew pew.
Captain's log, stardate 6223.8. We are en route to the glorious Pebble Scientific Academy, where we...
Enterprise, this is Captain Luke Rayner of the USS Alexander. We have returned from the future. In 8 days, the United Federation of Planets will be completely destroyed. A new...
My God. Captain's log supplemental. We have tracked the Alexander's course to Espoir Station, a scientific research facility in the Omega Maelstrom sector. We are about to set course for that system, hoping to discover the subject of its last ominous message.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so back in my day, there was no in-game map. You had to consult the rulebook. There was a map in the rulebook that you had to look at, figure out where to go.
Perhaps you should access...
Orders are to proceed to Espoir Station, sir.
Alright, Espoir Station. On my map that I'm looking at, it's 12. Which is here.
Captain, the Elossi frigate is decloaking.
In addition to its cloaking capabilities, the ship is mounted with 3 forward-firing photon torpedo bays.
We are being hailed.
On screen.
This is Captain Bevander Zane of the Elossi frigate interdiction. You are no match for our new Storm-class frigates. We demand your immediate surrender.
Forget it. Give us 5 minutes to decide.
So I can choose my response here. Hi Fallen, how are you? Oprah Killer, how are you?
No matter how good your ships are, they're still being captained by lice-ridden Elossi hypocrites. I would lose all self-respect surrendering to a person like you. Forget it. Give us 5 minutes to decide. Forget it.
I believe that you humans have a fantastic expression. Your choice, your funeral. Goodbye, Enterprise.
Raising shields.
Arming weapons.
Our weapons are locked, Captain.
Oh, that MIDI. I love all the memories.
Captain, they are fleeing!
Captain's log. We have engaged in a battle against the Elossi. I cannot help but wonder if there is a connection between them and the message that we have received from the Alexander.
Captain, you don't seriously expect us to believe that the Elossi could threaten the Federation?
Those Cossacks couldn't threaten my grandmother.
It does seem inconsistent with what we know.
I'm still suspicious, Mr. Spock. Just call it human intuition.
Captain, I'm receiving a message from the station manager.
On screen.
Captain, I'm James Monroe, commander of Espoir Station. We witnessed your battle against the Alasi. They've bothered us a lot in the last few weeks. We're very grateful.
Do you mind if we come down and take a look at your station? Really? Then why haven't you filed reports with Starfleet? We've heard disturbing reports about your activities. We've come to take a look at your research. Do you mind if we come down and take a look at your station?
Espoir Station would be glad to greet a starship as famous as the Enterprise. We'll send coordinates and you may transport aboard at your convenience.
Lowering shields, Captain.
Greetings, Dr. Monroe. I'm Captain Kirk.
Yes, it's been made clear who you are, Captain Kirk. Espoir Station is glad to meet you. In fact, we have something interesting to show you.
That may be why we're here. What the?
The modified tractor overload beam can be quite lethal, Captain. I suggest you surrender immediately or we will crack your ship like an egg.
Why are you doing this?
Actually, Kirk, I'm the one pulling the strings.
Riddell.
Jim, isn't he that maniac who wanted revenge on you and...
I am the one who headed the Verdane program to build our improved versions of your starships. And despite the setback caused by your interference, I survived.
I thought you were killed when your pathetic imitation of the Enterprise was destroyed.
Fortunately, a cloaked Alasi frigate transported me before my bridge was destroyed. Fortunate for one of us, that is.
You intend to destroy the entire Federation?
Guards, put them in the brig and let them rot.
Welcome to Espoir, Captain Kirk. I've been asked to make certain your stay is uncomfortable. What did you do to Dr. Riddell anyway?
11 years ago, as a lieutenant on the Farragut, I exposed his scheme to overthrow the Verdane Council. They dismissed him from their science council in disgrace. He's vowed revenge ever since.
That explains it. Never get involved in politics or get on the good doctor's bad side.
It doesn't sound like you care that much for Riddell.
Well, he's never been interested in winning popularity contests. By the way, the name's Shem. Manau Shem. What's on your mind, Captain?
Dr. McCoy, he's very sick. You wouldn't happen to be related to Vakata Shim by any chance. Do you realize that you're working for a madman? You wouldn't happen to be related to Vakata Shim by any chance.
Yes. He was my father.
How's he doing?
He's dead. He tried to betray the Verdane Starship program to the Federation and was executed 9 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that. I knew him when I was on Verdane. He was a good man.
Obviously, someone felt differently. Since then, Dr. Riddell took me under his wing. I proved more able as a security officer than as a scientist.
Then you should know that Riddell is insane. Why don't you try coming inside for a moment? Let's see how tough a security officer. And what do you think of your father's death?
How do you think I felt?
I called him my friend. He had the courage of his beliefs. It must have been difficult having people constantly saying that you are a traitor's son. How many times did Riddell say that to you? Help us avenge his death. 10 years ago, he helped me expose him to the Verdane Council. He died because he was Bradell's enemy, not because he was a traitor. If I can expose Bradell's plans, then your father's name will be clear. I called him my friend. He had the courage of his beliefs.
I am glad that someone has good memories of him.
I cannot believe that Vakata Shim's son would blindly follow Bradell. I have memories of a man of honor and compassion on a world that did not always admire those qualities. A man whose respect for life caused him to intercede when our landing party faced summary execution, when it would have been easier for him to let us be killed.
I suppose he deserves to be repaid for his kindness. I'll help you, Captain.
Okay. So we talked our way past the
I've
guard.
opened the lockers. Try not to kill anybody. Some of these people are my friends, although I suppose I may as well start using the past tense. I'll follow after you've used the turbo lift.
Phasers taken. Tricorders and medkit taken. Communicators taken. A pass passcard reader. This device opens the lockers when the appropriate passcard is inserted.
Alright. Radiation. Vacuum. Guess we'll try one room at a time and hope for the best. Let me go ahead and save the game while I'm thinking about it.
Save new game.
Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object.
An atmospheric purifier. It is capable of removing contaminants from large quantities of air or water in less than a second. It carries the brand of the Save a Ship Manufacturing Corporation.
Now, why would you need an atmosphere purifier on a space station? The filters should be built into the life support system.
I suspect it could help someone with extreme allergies.
The filter is bulky but portable.
I've heard about these. Let's try...
Ow!
Sorry, Bones. I must have hit the key that stimulates the pain center.
I do not have enough experience on the instrument, Captain. I do not believe that it would be advisable. I am unable to unlock it, Captain. It has a brain path scan lock. Only someone with specific brain patterns could unlock this.
The door is locked.
Oh my.
A large machine. It looks like the center of an experiment.
My God, it's not just an Antarian man-killer. You should see some of the generic engineering they've done to it. They've actually made it deadlier.
A formidable achievement in genetics, Doctor, given that the species is renowned throughout the galaxy as one of the most powerful and dangerous predators in known space.
There are reasons why the Federation monitors genetic research, and this thing is one of them.
There they are! Get them! Fire!
Poor Bones.
I hate when they do that.
No effect.
You're too late. I've set the computer on a continuous auto-diagnostic. You'll never be able to get it online.
I don't believe in the word never.
We will need to end the diagnostic cycle, Captain. It is currently playing chess against itself. Captain, the computer is locked into an infinite loop. It will continue playing the game until it defeats itself. I can interrupt the moves and input my own.
Try rook to queen's level 3. That will threaten its bishop. Try knight to king level 1. That will shore up our defenses. Try queen to queen's level 2. Let's sacrifice our queen to take that knight. Try rook to queen's level 3. That will threaten its bishop.
An excellent move.
Now let's push a pawn on king's level. That will force it into a more stable position. Now move your other rook to support it on queen's level. We should be able to threaten the queen or the bishop. Let's try something a little dangerous. Rook to king's level 2.
Okay, so the dangerous options I don't think is what we want here.
Now let's push a pawn on king's level. That will force it into a more stable position. Now move your other rook to support it on queen's level. We should be able to threaten the queen or the bishop.
It seemed to be expecting something else, Captain. Its queen is vulnerable.
Let's not be too hasty. Advancing the bishop to support the rook will give us a solid advantage on the board. Let's confuse it with a sacrifice. It might be interesting to trade queen. Let's take the queen and see if it resigns.
A superb game, Captain. You have mated it. The diagnostic cycle has ended.
Excellent, Spock. Can you access the computer?
The main memory unit will not accept my attempts to access. I will need to find a more friendly interface with enough memory to hold the information. Captain, I am connecting the science tricorder to the central computer. We can use it to tap into the computer now that the diagnostic cycle is finished. We might use Dr. McCoy's tricorder as well. Captain, I am connecting the medical tricorder to the central computer. Success, Captain. I have access to Burdell's Project Big Bang files and to the access code for his personal quarters. Captain, the main computers are behind the chess set. I will attempt to access them. Success, Captain. I have access to Burdell's Project Big Bang files and to the access code for his personal quarters.
Phasers on stun.
Oh, that's even worse than the damn transporter.
How dare you come aboard this station and disturb our delicate work, you Starfleet brute!
And I thought Harry Mudd was annoying.
Don't hurt me! Please! And could someone do something for my allergies?
Hold still. That should help. And try to calm down. We're the good guys.
Thank you for helping me with my allergies. I guess not all Federation people are bad.
Well, we normally like to think of ourselves as humanitarians.
Unfortunately, that is not what Dr. Burdell tells most Vardane. Anyway, I guess I should get rid of that creeper.
The station's systems console. The station's weapon controls.
I am disabling their backups. It includes several systems that are not controlled from this station. disabling their weapons control. I do not detect access to anything around the proto-event.
The station's communications station.
I am disabling their communications network. We will now have a clear channel to the Enterprise.
Kirk to Enterprise. Kirk to Enterprise.
Transmission detected in Central Command. Security forces converge on Central Command.
Captain Kirk, is everything all right?
Things are looking up, I think. Kirk out.
Uh-huh.
Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas. A knockout gas with an extremely long effect.
We have mere seconds to neutralize it or get out of here.
I've got that air filter. I can try it.
Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas.
We have mere
The floor.
Where do I put it? Alright. We'll come back to it.
Rather cramped living quarters. Only a small step up from Klingon ships.
No wonder the Klingons have such a bad temper.
We'd better be quiet. There's a gentleman on the bed who might quarrel with us if we wake him up.
He looks sick, Jim. This will keep him unconscious. I can't cure him with a med kit. His infection is not easily treatable.
Practice dummies for martial arts. The dummies are not easy to carry, but you manage. A target for laser firing practice. A small shifting holographic bullseye is certain to challenge even the most skilled marksman. The target is firmly attached to the wall.
Surrender or die.
Surrender. Or we'll phaser the airlock and we'll all go flying out together. Can I have 5 minutes to think about it? We surrender. Surrender. Or we'll phaser the airlock. Can I have 5 minutes to think about it? We surrender.
Let's get their weapons.
Nice.
7 with 1 blow.
An exaggeration, Doctor.
Come on, you two.
These controls open and close the shuttle bay doors. This monitors the effectiveness of the cosmic ray filter along the shuttle bay. This controls the atmosphere within the transport and docking bays. This controls the force field that protects the transport and docking bays.
Spock, remove the atmosphere. Spock, sabotage the system.
The controls are no longer functioning, Captain.
Spock, open the outer door. Spock, sabotage the system.
The controls are no longer functioning, Captain.
Jim, what's that smell?
Wanaka gas.
We have mere... The air is being purified almost immediately. Ah, good old Starbase filtered air. So dry it makes me want to drink a glass of water every 5 minutes.
I'm sure we can transport you into water if you really want some.
Damn transporters. If man were meant to fly around the universe, God would have allowed him to disassemble his own molecules.
Save new game. Replace previous game.
Captain, all areas of the ship except Burdell's quarters are accessible by transport. We have access without transport to all areas except security.
Unfortunately, they'll be able to draw a bead on us the moment we start transporting, and will be able to blow us away the moment we materialize. We need a distraction.
We are ready to transport the dummies, Captain. That should prove an adequate distraction for us to get into security.
At least we have a chance now.
Captain, all areas of the ship except Burdell's quarters are accessible by transport. We have access without transport to all areas except security.
The dummies should provide a convincing decoy during transport and give us the edge we need. Set transport coordinates for security.
Damn it, I'm a doctor, not a target.
This console controls communications tracking. This console controls force fields in Special Projects Room.
I have lowered the force fields in the Special Projects Room. I have deactivated the communications tracking systems, Captain.
This seems pointless. This console...
I give you credit, Earther. You show extraordinary guile. Well played, Captain.
I'm not playing games. I'm trying to prevent Burdell from destroying the Federation. What's your name, mister? You're not so bad yourself. What's your name? I'm not playing games. I'm trying to prevent Burdell from destroying the Federation.
I trust you have evidence to back this claim.
If I presented evidence, would you help me stop him?
Is there any reason why I should?
Do you want to see 100 billion people die? Do you want to see the survivors of the Federation destroy Vardane?
Not particularly. And Burdell has not treated us with the honor that the soldier class of Vardane demands. If this action threatens Vardane, our class code demands that we help you.
I'll try to provide that evidence.
I can't stop you right now. If you return here and present evidence of your claim, I will look at it. Until you can prove your claim, Kirk, my men will hunt you down like animals.
I have copies of Burdell's files taken from the main computer. I believe you will find them to be authentic and of extreme interest.
The date on these files in the security code is from before you boarded. It appears you were telling the truth. This action will have consequences that are not in the best interest of the Vardane. I have no choice but to help you.
Jim, look out!
The central control for the Special Projects Room. You have already deactivated its protective force field.
Captain, I have deactivated the tractor beam. The Enterprise is now free.
Captain, we've received word from the USS Alexander.
The Alexander?
It will arrive here in 9 days. It's the closest vessel to the station.
Let's hope history doesn't repeat itself. Kirk out.
A temporal paradox. Most fascinating.
Save new game. Replace previous. The door is locked.
Here is the code, Captain.
Well, it appears all of those misspent years playing chess have finally been put to good use, Mr. Spock. We can now enter Burdell's quarters.
Misspent years, Captain?
Definitely, Spock. You could have been spending time studying or playing baseball with family and friends.
Vulcans do not play baseball, Doctor. Nor do many humans in this century.
Let's go. I want to have a few words with my old friend, Dr. Burdell.
So, you managed to elude our security. I'll have their heads.
It's over, Burdell. Surrender peacefully, and we'll guarantee you a fair trial.
I will not submit to a trial by a tribunal of chattering apes. We are the Vardane. Lesser species have no right to judge us.
Your experiment is over, Burdell. Morality transcends the differences in species, Burdell. You don't honestly think you can defy the three of us, do you, Burdell? Morality transcends the differences in...
Morality. It is an invention designed to make lesser people feel superior. The universe is full of moral people, and for the most part, they are dead wood. People who are preoccupied with morality never make history. You always did love to lecture, Kirk. You'll be the most self-righteous corpse in the galaxy.
Captain, he appears to be resisting the meld. I am unable to get information from him.
A dartboard. A very good likeness of James T. Kirk is its chief decoration. A vase of red Antarian roses. They have a pleasant aroma. The Journal of E.S. Burdell. Burdell's nightstand. It appears in perfect condition. No effect. You pick up Burdell's journal, and a bookmark falls out.
This is unusual, Captain. I would not have expected a man like Burdell to rely on a paper record.
Who knows, Spock?
The bookmark is intricately decorated, not too dissimilar from a computer circuit pattern.
War and peace, how ironic. They might learn something from this. Now all they need is crime and punishment. I think I should leave it here.
Burdell's journal.
I fail to see what useful purpose that would serve, Captain. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. I fail to see what use...
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Riddell's journal.
According to this book, Riddell's secret code is 2162.
Captain, there's a number coded in base 64. The number is 2188.
The offending dartboard is removed, revealing a set of controls.
I will need the correct code, Captain.
We've seen two possible codes, Mr. Spock. 2162, 2188.
I have activated the code circuit. The proto-event weapon is decloaking. I have also managed to deactivate the station's shields and have a clear communications channel to the Enterprise.
Broadcast the coordinates, Mr. Spock. Have the Enterprise destroy that weapon.
The coordinates have been sent.
Scotty, 3 to beam up. That has to be one of the most welcome explosions that anyone will ever see.
There is turmoil on the Vardane Council, Captain. The members who supported Burdell's anti-Federation policies have been forced to resign. I expect improved relations between the Federation and Vardane.
That's good to hear. Though history shows that suppressed movements like Bredl's have a habit of resurfacing at inconvenient moments.
And Burdell is now a Federation prisoner. I hope this will not prove to be a rallying point for those Vardane who hate the Federation.
I've received word that Mr. Shem's application to enter Starfleet Academy has been accepted. He should make a fine officer one day.
Captain, I'm receiving a message from the USS Alexander.
On screen.
Luke Rayner here. I know we've never met.
Yes, of course.
We got your signal, and Starfleet has asked us to assist in cleaning up your operation.
It's good to have you with us. Better than you could possibly guess.
I don't understand, Captain.
It's a long story. Come aboard, and I'll tell it to you.
I reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. The top brass at Starfleet are impressed with the results of your recent performance. Outstanding work, Jim. Keep up the good work. Kane out.
Aye, Captain, I'm looking forward to taking leave on Nova Atar. The museum there is supposed to be quite excellent. Lots of antique and one-of-a-kind machinery.
Commander, are you certain it's not the Kazakhstanian cognac you're looking forward to?
Do they make that there, laddie? I don't know.
Why, Mr. Scott, I'm surprised at you, not knowing the location of a famous distillery.
We invented that brandy, you know.
Right.
Of course you did.
No, really. We did.
No one would ever doubt you, Ensign, however...
Sorry to interrupt, Captain, but we have an emergency call from the science vessel Demeter. She's in orbit around Balkos 3.
On screen.
Captain Kirk, good to see you're in the area.
You have an emergency, Commander Gelman?
Well, I'm not sure, actually. Maybe more of a case of better safe than sorry. We're orbiting Balkos 3 to study the Balkosi, a race of people just entering their own Stone Age. We've only been here 2 days. Already, we've found some unusual data. But just a few minutes ago, during the deep geologic probing phase, we were suddenly scanned.
Scanned? I thought the Balkosi were just developing.
They are, Captain. And there haven't been any indications of old civilizations until now. The scan was also of extreme power. Following that, we detected a power source coming online. We'll send the coordinates along with all the other information we've gathered. I was a little concerned that we triggered an old defense mechanism. With the amount of information it pulled in its scan, we'd be an easy target. I've moved the Demeter to a higher orbit on the far side of the planet.
Quite reasonable, Commander. We're on our way.
Thank you, Captain.
Kirk out.
I advise referring to the star map and setting a course for Balkers 3, Captain.
Approaching Balkos 3, Captain.
Entering standard orbit.
Spock, come with me. Scotty, you have the con. Lieutenant, ask Dr. McCoy to meet us in the transporter room.
Yes, Captain?
What the devil was that? An attack?
While I cannot guarantee a lack of physical change, Doctor, we seem to be unharmed. I therefore conclude we have been scammed.
Captain, are you all right? Sensors detected a burst of power followed by some sort of powerful transmission.
According to Spock, we're in perfect health, Scotty.
According to Spock?
Never mind, Mr. Scott. Can you track the transmission to its destination?
I'll give it a try, Captain, but it's like nothing I've ever seen before.
It never is, Mr. Scott. It never is. Kirk out.
I guess you were right, Spock. Here I thought we were dead for a second.
Doctor, that would have made conversation quite difficult.
I was making a joke, Spock.
Were you, Doctor?
Gentlemen, I believe we have some business at hand.
It is an unknown piece of equipment inside an energy field. I cannot get an accurate reading, Captain, due to a force field. However, it appears to be a transmitter. The energy field around this scanning device prevents a detailed examination.
Circuitry controlling the door.
Quite simple, considering the appearance of the other machinery here. All that was needed was a power interrupt. The doors will only stay closed while power is on. Interesting. Nothing unusual about that object, Captain. This device transforms its internal energy into useful quantities for other portable devices. The transfer takes place at the small outlet junction located near the center of the unit.
So what is that in English, you pointed-eared confusion factory?
In English, it remains exactly as I said. However, for those unskilled in the language, This is a battery charger.
For once, why can't you just come up with a simple explanation first?
It's not always necessary, Doctor. You are not always around.
What is it with you two? You're like children. I'm getting tired of it. Why am I snapping at you?
Spock, what do you make of the screen?
This is a computer display module, Captain.
Spock, what kind of interface is this?
A bridge unit for use between function control and display circuitry, Captain. It could be helpful to have.
No effect.
Spock, what do you make of these?
This appears to be a set of interface cables.
We got hit with a power surge. It's interfering with sensors and we might have some trouble locking onto you.
Well, if we intend on taking our shore leave with the rest of the crew, we'd better find out what's causing that power surge. Spock, any idea what this box is?
The cube contains control circuitry. I suggest we keep it.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Spock, is that a switch?
Yes, a fairly simple switching device, Captain. Captain, these items appear to be configured to produce a small energy field of some sort. They do not appear to be powered at this time.
Why don't you see what you can do with them, Spock?
That would seem to be a logical thing to do. I will take enough for all of us. The bin contains small plastic discs, Captain. The plastic is essentially inert in this form. However, if placed under pressure, it will become a superconductor capable of storing significant energy compared to its size. It will break down over time. That is why it is commonly stored in this state.
Probably should hang on to a few, don't you think?
A logical choice. This is a very specialized pressure device, Captain. The badge will go into one hopper and be combined under pressure with another item.
Well, I think it looks like a button maker. Can it make me a badge that says if man was meant to transport, his atoms would already be scattered?
Possibly, Doctor. But after pressure application, it would be unlikely you would be capable of reading much.
You're not a lot of fun, Spock.
I did not realize that was part of my job requirement, Doctor. Is it part of yours?
At times like this, yes.
The batteries have been placed into the device. The badges have been placed into the hopper, Captain. Since we know this is a high-pressure device, it would be logical to either use it or leave it alone.
Whew. What is that smell?
There is a chemical change due to the pressure. That is simply a small amount of outgassing by the plastic, Doctor. Captain, the badges and batteries are now joined.
No effect. No effect.
After a thorough examination, Spock,
Captain, these badges are already assembled.
Yeah, who knows what stench it would make if you put that in again.
A small plastic badge, thickened by the presence of a battery disc pressed into its structure. The badges change color.
I believe the units are now fully operational.
Hopefully these badges will help us with some of these force fields. We should each keep one of them with us while we're here.
This console is non-operational, Captain. However, I do believe the repair would be a simple matter given the right materials. There are essentially no controls or displays available at this time. The computer is now functional. Fascinating. There's only a limited amount of control available on this console. I believe there are other functions it controls, but these functions cannot be accessed.
I'm not sure I understand, Spock.
Nor I, Captain. What purpose would be served by limiting access?
What purpose indeed? Bones, any ideas?
Why are you asking me? Is this some kind of pop quiz?
Two other things, Captain. There is a reference in the limited readout which leads me to believe there are other complexes on the planet somehow connected with this one. Location and function are not specified or available.
That's only one, Spock.
True, Captain. I was just waiting to see if you had any comments.
Not that I'd like to share at this moment, Mr. Spock, please.
There is one other repair that is possible. One device can be controlled from this console if its command circuit is replaced. I will not be able to determine what device that is until the replacement circuit is installed.
An interface cable. This cube contains a significant amount of circuitry.
It is now possible for me to shut down a force field at some other location. I do not know where or what the force field protects.
Yes, I'm getting tired of force fields. One less will be a pleasure no matter what it does. No, let's look around a bit more. Yes, I'm getting tired of force.
Captain, my attempt to turn off the force field has triggered some sort of computer activity. It is requesting that I allow some sort of display to occur on the screen. Shall I allow it?
I don't know if that's a good idea. By all means, Spock. Curiosity may kill cats, but I'm hoping humans will fare a little... I don't know if that... By all means...
That's comforting, Jim.
Alright, so... Six, 9, 12, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 12. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 12, 12. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go across with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 5. Alright, so there's one circle, one triangle.
It appears we've chosen correctly, Captain. The controls indicate that the force field has been dropped.
Okay.
It is a scanner with both long-range and detailed capabilities. It appears to be a detection device. Judging by the complexity of its circuitry, I would gather that it is quite sensitive. It is a powerful transmitter, unlike anything in Starfleet records. I am fairly certain it is a transmitter of some type, Captain. While the construction and circuitry are totally unfamiliar to me, I do notice a lack of signal focusing or the ability to go omnidirectional or any other similar change. However, the system is slaved to track to a general sector of the galaxy. Information is passed following a random signal pattern with the lead pulse carrying the coding keys.
English, Spock, please.
That was English, Captain. To rephrase, the signal is permanently directed to one area of the galaxy, an area I believe the Federation has yet to explore. The signal beam is not tight enough to fix an exact planet or even a specific system. These settings cannot be changed.
Then this is a sort of monitoring system only?
Quite possibly. Furthermore, the signal frequency is 0.00052 angstroms, and the transmissions are coded. Captain, unless someone was looking for this signal in particular, chances are it would be dismissed as background radiation, cosmic rays.
You learned all that by just playing with the console on a machine you've never seen before?
I am the science officer, Doctor, and a Vulcan. This is a food-producing unit, Captain. There's a fast-growing bacteria inside. The bacteria is continually being harvested, and units of food are being produced and carried elsewhere by that large pipe. The small pipe next to it carries the byproducts.
That seems simple enough.
There's much more, Captain.
Well, I'm surprised.
The pipe leading to the other unit circulates the bacteria. A considerable quantity can be moved through that pipe in a short time. The other unit would need to be examined before I'm able to reach any conclusions as to the reason. I do know that any breaks in any of the pipes will send a signal to that unit, as will interruption of power to the food-producing unit. It is quite possibly a fail-safe mechanism.
Spock, can you do anything with those controls?
Captain, the controls are locked out. There is no way to change their settings. Captain, given the nature of the electronics inside, I can deduce that it is a synthesizer replicator unit. However, it is unlike anything used by the Federation. I am unable to determine its exact capabilities. Made by the same builders as the other machinery in the complex. Quite sophisticated. Captain, I do not notice any external controls. This appears to be a self-automated unit.
The Balcosian system shows heightened stress and metabolic activities.
The creature looks at you quizzically and gibbers for a moment.
Captain, I will attempt to restrain the Balcosian when he stops to eat. Captain, I will attempt... The nerve bundle seemed quite thick. My assumption is that the Balcosian is unharmed, but will remain unconscious for a considerable time.
You heartless monster, leave him alone. Jim, I'd like to take him to the medical examination room next door. I want to know what that gas is doing to him.
Not a bad idea, Bones.
Now this is more like it, a medical examination table. I'd know one of these even if it is made for an alien. My God, look at these readings. Everything's elevated. Small wonder that the Balcosi are in turmoil. Every aggression-related hormone in this guy's body is working overtime.
What's causing it, Bones?
That little hiss of air was loaded with pheromones, Jim. The creature inhaled them and immediately went into overload.
This must happen at random intervals when they collect the food.
I hate to sound like Spock, but there's more, and it's pretty fascinating. Also horrifying. The pheromone is perfectly tuned to the Balcosian physiology. It's like somebody genetically engineered both.
Didn't the Demeter report say there weren't enough records showing the Balcosian presence on the planet? Could they have been put here on purpose?
It is possible we have stumbled in on an experiment, Captain.
With the subjects being treated like rats, it's criminal, Jim. These can be thinking beings.
I'm not certain it is the Balcosi that are the subjects, Bone. I think it is us.
Interesting hypothesis, Captain. What is your supporting data?
It's the way all of this is set up, Spock. I can't put my finger on it, but it just feels so set up. We keep finding out just enough to make choices. The real question is who? Who's doing this to us?
And to what purpose, Captain? Why?
Why indeed, Spock. Why indeed?
Spock! Sorry. Okay.
That passageway narrows as it goes up. I don't think we'd make it without getting stuck.
An interface cable. Essentially an on-off control device.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Assuming the appropriate signal is received, this unit can be shut down safely. The shutdown signal does not originate here.
I would just be wasting our time. No, I don't.
Information recorded on the tricorder states that this is a discharge unit to eject material into the planet's ecosystem.
This generator may be providing power for more than just this complex. It is broadcasting power, which is causing the interference in communications with the Enterprise. I cannot tell for certain if there are receiving units for this power, because some of the readout circuits are damaged. Fascinating.
What is fascinating this time, Spock?
You tell him, Jim. I'm getting sick of this alien smarter-than-thou attitude.
If either of you had an ounce of logic, you would be more prepared to listen to my information, and possibly even understand it.
Bordering on insubordination, aren't we, Mr. Spock?
I always knew that no emotion garbage was just a cover. He thinks he should be in charge.
Mr. Spock, I'll have those findings from you right now.
Captain, it appears the circuit was deliberately damaged. This would only be possible if the force field were down. Who would damage their own machinery? And for what purpose?
More and more curious, Mr. Spock.
Also, Captain, I am able to determine that if power is interrupted rather than shut down from the console, it will send a signal to the discharge unit and release the bacteria into the atmosphere.
A bridge unit for use between function control and display circuitry.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
The readout is now fully functional. There are other locations on this planet receiving power from this generator. Most peculiar, the locations of these units are not in the database.
And you think they should be?
It would be logical, Captain. But removing the circuit that controls the on and off functions of this device would also be illogical.
Are you trying to tell me that's what happened here?
Exactly, Captain. Until that repair is made, it would be impossible to execute a proper shutdown procedure.
A series of expanding X's. A large computer sits in front of you.
Captain, there's a small display active. It appears that this device is a memory unit, an archive. Most amazing. The information is in volatile memory. If power were lost to this device, all information contained within would be lost. An odd way to create an archive.
What is in the archive?
The displays indicate it contains a vast amount of data on three-dimensional projection. Circuitry diagrams, equipment construction techniques. Essentially, everything needed to project lifelike images in great detail inside of a structure. Starfleet does not have this level of technology. This would be a major find for the Federation.
Then I think that gathering that data would be a very good thing to do, Mr. Spock.
Very well, Captain. Captain, the display indicates that the best view of the projection will be from the south side of the room.
Well, gentlemen?
Anyone got popcorn?
Bones. Impressive, Spock.
Captain, I'm not responsible for that occurrence. However, I did discover that accessing the memory will not only trigger the shutdown of this unit, it will also send a signal to another device, most likely one somewhere in this complex. Damaging the unit will also initiate shutdown and signal transmission.
There's no way around it?
None, Captain.
What is this, some kind of idiotic test? Don't fool with that, Spock. You'll poison this planet and make these inhabitants permanently aggressive.
Doctor, you do not know for certain that whoever placed the Balcosi here did not intend for that to happen. The aggressiveness may be what they need to develop further. And the information in the archive is a reward for sending the Balcosi into the next stage of their development.
You just want to get your Vulcan fingers on that precious scientific information. More like 30 pieces of silver for condemning the Balcosi to the lives of violence. Jim, you can't let this unfeeling monster do this to the Balcosi.
Do you wish me to continue attempting to access the archive, Captain?
Yes, Spock. That information could be... Let's hold off until we get a little more information.
An interface cable.
The repair is complete, Captain. It would now be possible to safely shut this machine down. However, doing so would certainly affect all the other equipment in this complex. Captain, accessing the archive will cause transmission of the signal from this unit to the other device. Do you wish me to continue?
Yes, Spock. That information could be critical to the Federation. Let's hold off.
Captain, do you wish me to start the shutdown sequence on the generator?
Let's hold off. Shut it down, Spock. Let's hold off. Shut it down, Spock.
Well, that ends that threat. Balcosi can rest peacefully tonight and from now on.
It is still a trying time in their development, Doctor.
Think of it as an adventure, Spock. Scotty, 3 to beam up.
Captain, the power source has completed its shutdown cycle. There is no trace of the bacteria or pheromone in the atmosphere. It would appear the Balcosi are free to choose their own future.
Good to hear, Spock. I know losing a find like that archive has to hurt.
That would be an emotional response.
Of course it would. How silly of me.
Captain, there are 2 signals being broadcast from the planet. The first is another burst following the same path as the original broadcast. The other signal emanates from nearby the first. It's aimed at us, Captain. Message from Starfleet, Captain.
On screen, Lieutenant.
Interesting report, Jim. I think you were right to release the Balcosi from outside influence. Too bad you couldn't retrieve the archive. No one at Starfleet has any idea who was behind all this, or what the testing message was all about. Keep us informed as you find out more. I've got confidence in you, Jim.
I've reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. I am very pleased with your performance. It was a perfect mission, Jim. Your reputation as Starfleet's best starship captain is secure. Kane out.
Captain's log, stardate 6236.5. Following our mission to Balkos, the Enterprise is proceeding to Omega Corvus to probe radiation clouds. We are expecting an uneventful mission.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
This is a Code 2 emergency, Captain. 3 Federation ships have vanished in the Delphi system within the last month. 3 days ago, we lost contact with the USS Zimbabwe. You are to go to the Delphi system and find out what's happened to our ships. Starfleet out.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Captain, at our current speed of Warp 7, I expect to enter the Delphi system in 8 minutes.
Captain, I just started getting the oddest noise on all channels. It sounds like some sort of insect drone.
Let's hear it, Lieutenant.
An object is approaching the Enterprise.
On screen. Mr. Spock, is that what I think it is?
Sensors indicate that it is an authentic Earth warplane, circa 1917, belonging to the nation of Germany. Its appearance is identical to a Fokker DR-1. Sensors also indicate an immense power source and one life form.
We are being hailed.
This is Baron Trelane von Gothas of the German Air Circus. I have identified you as an enemy aircraft. You have 10 seconds to surrender before I blow you out of the sky.
Trelane, but I thought we'd seen the last of you. Stop playing games, Trelane. Leave my ship alone. We surrender. Trelane, triplanes didn't have radios during the First World War.
Captain Kirk, that is not the way for mortal enemies to greet each other on the field of battle. Of course you hadn't seen the last of me. I am Trelane, the humble Baron of Gothas.
I suppose we're going to get another tantrum from a runaway child with too much power for his own good. Humility is not something that I would associate with you, Trelane. Mortal enemies. When are you going to... Humility is not something that I would associate with you, Trelane.
Oh, this is wonderful. The sarcastic banter of determined foes just before a battle that only one of them will survive.
Put an end to this farce at once, Trelane. You have a way of trying my patience, Trelane. Go home, Trelane, before you get in trouble again.
My dear Captain Kirk, I'm not the one who is in trouble.
Sensors indicate he is closing on us. I would extrapolate that he intends to fire on us.
Raise shields, evasive maneuvers.
Raising shields.
Arming weapons. Our weapons are locked.
celebrate too soon, Mr. Chekhov. Trelane is like a bad penny. He keeps turning up where he's not wanted.
The triplane has reformed.
It is hailing us again, sir.
Kirk, you cheated! You cheated!
I beat you fair and square, Trelane. Now leave my ship alone.
No, Kirk, you cheated! And you're going to have to be punished. Your insolent ship will have to be punished as well. But only you will bear the full brunt of my revenge.
Leave my ship out of this, Trelane.
Are you trying to give orders to the Baron of Godless, Kirk? You shall go to my dungeon for that. You and a few others of my choosing.
We have been unconscious for a considerable length of time, Captain. This is Lieutenant Commander Ellis, First Officer and Security Chief of the USS Zimbabwe.
Hello, Mr. Ellis. Where is your captain?
He was in sickbay at the time that triplane attacked us. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on, Commander, is a gentleman named Trelane, an immature child of a race with vast powers. Somehow he acquired an unhealthy fascination with human military history. Last time we encountered him, he had an interest in the Napoleonic era.
It would appear, Captain, that his awareness of human history has advanced to the level of your First World War.
If it advances any further.
Not only do we need to escape this place, but we need to find a way to discourage Trelane's interest in war once and for all.
How did you escape from him last time, Captain?
His parents appeared and punished him. I doubt that we can rely on such an intervention a second time.
Hi, Ishwa. This is the version on GOG.
Okay, take us out of here.
Fascinating. This appears to be an Earth domicile, late 19th or early 20th century. The door is securely locked, Captain. I am unable to open it.
Does anyone have a safety pin?
A what? I don't think so.
I can't seem to force this door open. This lock is tougher than I'd expect for this time period.
Fascinating.
The only door in this room, it is locked. You get no... The crates are nailed shut. You are unable to open them. The crate is open. It is full of bottles of Himrich schnapps. The date on the bottle says 1913. You have taken several bottles of schnapps. Straw, not the sort of bedding that Starfleet officers are used to. Rather damp, too. There are many bundles of sticks piled against the wall. You pick up a stick. You already have a stick.
It's not firing.
The phasers have been completely drained of energy.
Courtesy of our charming host, no doubt?
No doubt. Well, gentlemen, if we're going to beat Trelane, we'll have to beat him on his own terms.
There's nothing unusual about the door. I'm conducting a sensor sweep of the area. We appear to be about 15 meters underground. There's a single human life force stationary, approximately 6 meters from the door, and about 6 life forms in our immediate vicinity on the surface. Ordinary straw, Captain. The tricorder detects no unusual properties.
The finest schnapps that money can buy, or so you'd like to imagine.
Keep it down, Schweinhund!
Keep it down.
You cover the straw with schnapps. These sticks were taken from local fir trees. They seem rather brittle.
Start a fire.
What's going on here?
We should leave this building immediately. The proximity of this fire to a large concentration of alcohol puts us at considerable risk.
Save, nuke, replace,
Do you think the Baron cares if you burn to death?
Who is this Baron? Don't be a fool, man. If you keep us in here, you'll die too. It depends on whether he likes his prison. Don't be a fool, man. If you keep us in here, you'll die too.
You have a point, Kirk. Go. I will be following.
Our soldier friend seems to have gotten separated from us. I heard some windows breaking on the other side of the building. I assume that was him.
The building is structurally sound, Captain. I doubt that it would collapse, but as a precaution, I would not enter it again.
Well, where are we, Mr. Spock?
Isn't it obvious? In trouble.
Do you have a problem, Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir, I have a problem. His name was...
The Baron does not appreciate vagrants.
Why that?
Do not interfere, or the same thing will happen to you.
How would you like to pick on someone your own size? What has this man done?
That is none of your concern. Do not interfere.
I see. He's done nothing.
Having fun, Jim? That should fix the hip problem. He should rest. Thank goodness Trelane didn't take the tranquilizers from my med kit. He'd probably be too tired to talk much.
Thank you for helping me. If only I had something to repay you.
You could tell us where we are.
You are the American pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk, the leader of the famous Enterprise Squadron.
Lieutenant Colonel
Jimmy?
Enterprise Squadron?
I suppose I should tell you nothing, but as it looks as though the war will soon be over, I can tell you that this is the village of Gothos.
What war is this?
The Great War. The one that has lasted for 4 damned years and has killed millions. I never thought that it was possible for so many young people to die for such a worthless cause.
I believe he refers to the first of your world wars.
Could you answer an important question for me, sir? What year is this? Where's Trelane? What else has happened? What year is this? What else has happened?
It is rumored that our forces are mutinying, and that our ambassadors have met with Mr. Wilson to discuss an armistice, but that Mr. Wilson will not negotiate with anyone except an elected government. Baron Trelane has retired to his castle and sees no one. His men are nothing more than bullies.
You get no response.
You know the Baron's orders are that you are to be served in the armory. You are not to enter this establishment.
Everyone knows, Fraulein, that the Baron's orders were never meant to be taken seriously. Even by him.
Looks like trouble.
Excuse me, but if the lady wants you out, then you should get out. Would you like to step outside? Hello, soldier. Wouldn't you look good with beer on your face? Excuse me, but if the lady wants you out, then you should get out.
I won't have trouble in my place. Get out. I will be bringing beer to the armory later tonight anyway.
I don't know who you are, but we had better not meet again.
Nice guy.
Well, Miss Gernsback, you seem to run a very efficient place.
Thank you, Colonel. Unfortunately, the war does not lend itself to efficiency. What do you wish to talk about?
Why are you calling me a colonel?
I know who you are. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk, leader of the famed United States Enterprise Squadron that has shot down so many of our pilots, along with Major Spock and Captain Leo McCoy.
Captain McCoy?
Leo?
Excuse me, Gretel, could you answer a question or two for me?
I will try, Colonel.
What's going on with the war? You said that the war led to a lack of efficiency. What do you know about Trelane? Why do these soldiers bother you?
The soldiers are little more than animals. They do as they please because a band protects them. I must deliver kegs of beer for them every night. It keeps them from having to leave the armory.
Kegs of beer. They are marked for delivery to the armory.
Rudolph Uland, owner of the shop outside. What seems to be the problem?
What do you think about the war, Harold? What can you tell me about Trelane? What do you think about the war, Harold?
Schiller would have us believe that Germany is doomed. But I have more faith in our great soldiers than that. Victory shall be ours.
I saw how you handled that foolish brute outside. Quite impressive. I am Schiller, superintendent of the local schools. How may I help you?
What do you think of the war? What can you tell me about Trelane? Where can I go to earn some money? What's special about the school?
Well, Captain Hauptmann is addressing our class, trying to make the children into proper Germans. And we have a brand new chalkboard.
It looks like a real keg of beer.
Colonel, if you want some beer, just ask.
Vulcans do not consume alcohol.
McCoy has drugged the beer.
Nice. Okay.
If I didn't know your good luck was only temporary, I'd be quite annoyed.
Mr. Full House is complaining. If his hands were any more indecent, he would be arrested.
With the Baron's soldiers, he might be arrested even if his hands were decent. I can't complete a strike to save my life.
Or your fortune.
Hello, I am Richard Sondergaard. I publish the local newspaper. It's nice to see someone as famous as you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Doesn't it worry you, Herr Sondergaard, that you know an enemy ace is standing next to you?
The Baron has given orders for everyone in Gothos to treat you well, Herr Kirk. A fellow pilot honoring fellow pilots, I suppose, although I would not trust the military to follow those orders to the letter. There's an open seat, Colonel. Just place your steak on the table.
Kirk, we're going to need all of our wits if we want to survive. Put the alcohol away.
Charming place. Less technology, more humanity. I like it.
Somewhere in the middle of this European charm is Trelane and the missing ships. Let's find it.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for that brew? I see you're selling food packages. Is that a coil of rope over on the wall? What do you want for those shoes? That really is a beautiful clock. Can you tell me how to make money around here?
Sure, have some money. Oh, I don't have any. I wonder why. Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for that brew?
That old thing. I can give it to you now. You can pay me later. I'm sure my boss, Mr. Uland, won't mind. Hi, can I help you?
I see you're selling food packages.
You look hungry. Sure, have it. Pay me later.
Wow.
Hi, can I help you?
Is that a coil of rope over on the wall?
That rope? No one ever buys rope. Go ahead and take it.
Oh, jeez.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those shoes?
I'm sorry, but those shoes have already been paid for. Hi, can I help you?
What do you... That really is a beautiful clock.
It sure is. I can let you have it. Pay me later. Or maybe not. Mr. Uland wouldn't like me to give away something that expensive on a promise. Hi, can...
What do you want? That really... What do you want for those shoes?
I'm sorry, but those shoes have...
I would not get near that dog if I were you, Jim. It's suffering from rabies.
Save me, replace.
What is it, Gringold? Ah, visitors. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me about the war? I noticed that you have only one. What can you tell me about Trelane? Where can I go to earn some money?
I might be able to give you some money, Colonel, if I could think of something useful that you could do for me. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell? I noticed that you...
I lost my arm in the last war, January 8, 1871, during the siege of Paris during Bismarck's war with France. Shortly before Germany's glorious victory. It still didn't bring my arm back. Thank you, Colonel. You Americans are very helpful. It's a pity we're at war with you. But wars always end, and today's enemy often becomes tomorrow's friend. Unfortunately, the reverse is often true. Here, it's not much, but money has its uses.
Thank you. Perhaps you might be able to use a broom around here.
Why, thank you, Colonel.
I think the cat is very comfortable in its current location, Captain.
The dog is now hungrily eating its meal.
Another satisfied patient.
And remember, democracy is weak. It relies on the votes of the foolish masses who are incapable of choosing strong leaders. Constitutional government fosters weakness. The rejection of republicanism is what won the last war for Germany, and it will bring us victory over these stupid Americans.
That's not what they told us at the academy.
Boys and girls, let me introduce you to an example of inferior Republican stock. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk. Tell us, Kirk, how can you defend the ludicrous American system?
I see no reason to defend anything, Captain. These children are, in spite of your efforts to indoctrinate them, quite capable of growing up to become adults who will make up their own minds. I am not interested in a debate, Hauptmann. Why don't we put it up to a vote? You have a choice between a system that gives you leaders who will oppress you for life or a system which, imperfect though it may be, allows you to influence your leaders and gives you a chance to bring them to account. All in favor of Hauptmann's system, say aye.
Aye!
All in favor of my system, say aye.
Aye!
It appears that they don't want what you offer them, Hauptmann.
I will not tolerate such insults. The Baron will make you all pay.
Jim, wasn't that a violation of the Prime Directive?
Dr. McCoy, this is clearly an imaginary culture with no real existence. The Prime Directive cannot be reasonably extrapolated to affect such a culture.
Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war? What can you tell me about Troll? These children are something, aren't they? I didn't realize they let mad dogs teach children. What do you think about the war? What can you tell? What do you? I didn't realize these children are something.
They are a little rambunctious, aren't they?
An ordinary oil painting, approximately 30 years old. I detect no unusual readings from it. The map does not register as unusual. I have a power reading from the chalkboard that is off the scale. It matches the sensor readings I took of Trelane's triplane on the Enterprise.
Theories, Mr. Spock.
The last time we encountered Trelane, he used various items, a mirror in particular, as a source for his power. This locket is another one of Trelane's power objects.
And if we could find and destroy enough of Trelane's power,
the village of Gothos would come apart, and we might find out what happened to the Enterprise.
Mr. Spock, continue scanning for power sources wherever we might find them.
Please, take anything, but not that. Education represents our children's future, and education cannot succeed if it is neglected or if teachers do not have the proper tools.
Photographs, medallions, and trophies. The tricorder does not detect anything unusual.
I'll get it.
You have taken one of their rifles.
Jim, I hope you're not expecting me to carry that. Hernias were a lot harder to treat in this time period.
Captain, even if we had need for these papers, the commander would need to sign them. Captain, even if we had need for these papers, we need to learn the combination, Captain. I could mind meld with him to get the combination of the safe.
Do it, Spock.
Trelane.
Spock, snap out of it.
He's not paying attention to me. Run away.
The combination, Spock. Concentrate on the combination.
Kirk. I must have revenge on Kirk. Every great man has his enemy. Nothing could be more fun than revenge. The sensation to end all sensations.
Spock.
I'm back, Captain. I was able to mind meld with Trelane to an extent through his replications. These men are the crew of the Shinobi, the original freighter that Trelane captured. Their thoughts have been altered by Trelane.
Where is the Enterprise, Spock?
Or the Zimbabwe.
I received the impression that Trelane is holding them prisoner. I also got the combination for the safe. Right 43, left 18, right 29, pull. This trophy is composed of tin and iron, Captain. An ordinary object. The tricorder detects nothing unusual about it.
I can't believe the trench would be so close to the town.
It shouldn't be. At this point in the war, the Allies had broken through the trenches. That's why Germany surrendered. Their defenses were crumbling, and they didn't want to see their cities destroyed.
Only one of many illogical situations, Commander. The building where we were imprisoned almost burned to the ground, but no other building was touched, and no one seemed concerned about the fire.
What else?
The fact that everyone seems to recognize us, yet the military does not try to intercept us. The building signs in English instead of German. There is much here that is not what it seems.
Nothing to report in the West.
What can you tell me about the war? What can you tell me about Trelane? What can you tell me about the war?
I am a sentry. The others are dead. I think I'm dying.
That's odd. I should be able to see immediate improvement in his injuries. But I have no response.
That is because Trelane is interfering. This man is meant to be a dying soldier, whose presence provides drama for Trelane's production.
He'll die.
Logic suggests that Trelane will not allow him to die, except for dramatic effect. Given the inconsistencies I've noticed, it is probable that he may be kept alive indefinitely.
Can you give him something for the pain, Doctor?
Nothing I've done has any effect on him, Commander.
My tricorder detects nothing unusual about the rubble. Captain, another abnormally high reading emanating from an object in his pocket. A locket of some sort.
What do you want, dog? What? I'm Star Trekking right now. What? What do you want? What?
Nothing to report in the West.
What can you tell me about the war? What can you... about your locket?
You want my locket? But that's the only reminder of my girl. I'd rather lose my arm.
We need it very badly. If we do something for you, would you give it to us?
I have a letter to my girl. If you see that it is delivered, I'll give you my locket.
Dog. Okay, alright. Settle down. I'll be up in a little bit, okay?
My dearest Hilda, you are the sun that lights my shadows. Your voice is the one that speaks to me when all other voices are filled with pain. Only your memory keeps this unbearable suffering from driving me mad. That and the hope that this war will soon end, one way or another.
Thank you, Captain. I will see that it is delivered.
Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
What do you think of them? What can you... You know, I've been to inspect the chalkboard.
I am very proud that we are spending money on the finest educational equipment, even during the middle of this accursed war.
And what is the Bluffmeister up to this time?
He doesn't bluff. He just complains about everything.
I do not. If I did, I would have hit the ceiling with my last hand.
You don't. You deal with it.
There's no hand worse than the one you deal yourself. Welcome to the game, Colonel.
3 hours later.
My God! Where did you learn to play poker, Colonel?
Starfleet Academy.
Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about Trelane? I need you to spread a rumor about a chalkboard.
You say you need me to convince Herr Schiller to give you the kindergarten blackboard? Do not know why, but I would do anything if you could get the commander to issue a transfer for my son.
There's nothing unusual about the shoes. The clock is another of Trelane's power objects, Captain.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those That really is a beautiful clock.
You can afford it. Take it.
Nothing to report in the West.
What can you about that locket?
You've delivered my letter? I guess I'll keep my promise. Have my locket.
Transfer papers for Mr. Sundergaard's son.
Have a bad feeling about this.
You'll never get me to talk.
I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of Trelane's childish imagination. Where's Trelane? Where's my crew? I would prefer that you didn't. Where's Trelane? Where's my crew?
I will tell you nothing. You presume to threaten me, Colonel?
I want you to sign transfer papers for Sundergaard's son. Send him away from the front.
How typical of the press. Not too willing to sacrifice for the good of the nation. Untie me, and I shall sign papers to take this little coward away from his duty.
I'll get it.
You have taken the signed transfer papers.
told you I wasn't bluffing. We three kings would take the stake.
I didn't know your good luck was only temporary. I'd be quite annoyed.
I have so few vices in my life. I must do the best I can with what I have.
Whose deal is it?
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. I cannot express my gratitude. If there is anything I can do for you, please let me know. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell? I need you to spread a rumor about a chalkboard.
You say you need me to convince Herr Schiller to give you the kindergarten blackboard. I would do anything for the man who got the commander to issue a transfer for my son.
Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
What do you think of them? You look worried. It wouldn't happen to be about the chalkboard by any chance.
I have heard the most horrifying rumors about these boards. Do you think they are true?
Absolutely. If you wish, I could dispose of the thing for you before anyone is harmed. I'd need a letter for Frau Hubbarding.
Absolutely. Let me just take pen to paper. Take it when you want to destroy the vile thing.
You pick up the piece of paper.
Please, take anything, but not that. Well, if the superintendent says you must take it, you must.
Another abnormally high reading emanating from the plane. It is in every way a Fokker DR-1, except for that power source. Captain, the force field around the castle is extremely intense. I get the same energy signature from it as I did from the triplane that attacked the Enterprise.
Mr. Spock, is there any way to penetrate it?
The force field permeates the ground, Captain. The largest weapons of this era could not penetrate the force field. If we could generate a disruption on the wavelength, the field could be breached, although we would not have much time before it was reestablished.
How could we generate such a disruption?
By physically destroying other objects that resonate on that wavelength. Objects like the power objects that we have already found.
You put the clock in the triplane. You put the locket in the triplane. You put the chalkboard in the triplane.
Affirmative, Captain.
Everyone stay well back.
I suppose I should be angry at you, Captain, with your act of vandalism against my beautiful aircraft. But then, barbarians will be barbarians.
There's only one barbarian in the room, Trelane, and I'm looking at him. Release my ship, Trelane. And don't you ever grow up, Trelane? You may release my ship, Trelane.
My ship? My ship? It's always your ship, your crew. Don't you have anything else to think about? Conquests of your enemies and the fair sex.
Restore the ships you've stolen and return them unharmed.
You're in no position to make demands. I am the Baron of Gothas, the most renowned aristocrat in this part of Germany.
This farcical, wildly inaccurate fantasy of yours.
And you are my prisoner, a mere Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk. And I will do with you whatever I want.
The tricorder confirms that the ship has been shrunk. I know of no scientific way this could have occurred, and no way to reverse it.
We'll have to convince our host to do it, Mr. Spock.
Well, Captain, I suppose you're about to make your grand plan of escape.
You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane, with your replica of the First World War. Why should I have to make a grand plan to escape? I don't have to do anything. Eventually, your parents are going to find you and discipline you again.
Fortunately, Kirk, my parents are otherwise occupied. They won't interrupt me when I'm winning.
But you have to compete first before you can win. Send the others away safely, and I'll give you a chance at revenge. That's odd. I was sure I detected other power sources converging towards us when I was on the Enterprise. You weren't winning, Trelane. You never were. You had tremendous powers, you had a weapon, and I didn't. And you still fell on your... That's odd. I was sure I detected...
No, you didn't. It's nowhere near me. But there's no harm in making sure we aren't seen. She's gone. Now I have to think of the proper way to destroy my enemies. You have a brief respite before your destruction.
This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the SS Shinobi, a freighter. This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the SS Manikiur, a Denebian transport. This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the USS Zimbabwe.
My ship! Bring it back or I'll...
This one's even more savage than the last one of your officers who made the same mistake. My compliments, Captain, on having such a spirited crew. Truly a testament to your fine leadership.
Release him, Trelane. He's done you no harm. He's not a member of my crew and you know it. Release him, Trelane.
You're no fun, Kirk. Besides, why should I?
I'll do what you want.
Your concern for the safety of your inferior species is most tiresome, Captain. Very well.
I suppose I should thank you, Captain.
Later, Commander.
Well, Captain, I suppose you're about to make your grand plan of escape.
You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane. With you. Why should I have to make a grand plan to escape from a loser like you? I don't have to do anything. Eventually, your
Fortunately, Kirk, my parents are otherwise occupied.
But you have to compete. That's odd. I was sure I did.
No, you didn't. It's nowhere near me. But there's no harm in making sure we aren't seen. She's gone. Now I have to think of the proper way to destroy my enemies. Well, Captain, I suppose...
You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane, with your replica of the First World War.
Why, thank you, Captain.
I wasn't complimenting you, Trelane. I've never seen such a piece of nonsense in my life. Although you could have made that trench scene much more realistic. If World War I had been the way you depicted, human history would have been a lot less bloody.
Are you calling the Baron of Gothas a liar?
Not a liar, just misinformed. Use the memory banks of the Enterprise Trelane. Recreate what's in there. War at its most realistic and terrifying. Not a liar, just misinformed. Use the memory banks of the Enterprise Trelane.
Captain Kirk, I hope you had a good reason for dragging me out in the mud in the middle of the rain.
Look around you, Trelane. Is this glory? Is this valor? Smell the stench of death. While knights fought in the sky, millions died in the mud. Diseased, starving, mutilated. Is this the sort of game you want to play, Trelane?
But these people lost, Kirk. Shame and suffering is supposed to befall the losers in war.
These were the winners, Trelane. You're inhuman, Trelane. You play games with people and ignore their suffering. If you have any real courage, Trelane, if you want to experience real warfare, put yourself in their place. No powers, no titles. Experience the glory of war firsthand, like these men did.
But aren't you inferiors supposed to die like that? Aren't you supposed to throw your lives away in futile wars? Or die as meaningless non-entities? Dying a useless death without glory?
No one is useless, Trelane, and no one wants to throw away their life in a futile war. We've changed, Trelane. We've grown up. It's time you did too.
You're no fun anymore, Kirk. No fun at all. You're preachy just like them. Anything I'm interested in is always wrong.
Release my ship. Trelane, look around you. Does this look right to you? Trelane, you don't go around hurting people and expect them to treat it as though they're having fun. The first thing a life form learns is to avoid pain. Release my Trelane.
Then how do you explain this delightful scene around us?
Some politicians decided that the only way to avoid getting hurt was to send other people out to get hurt. We've tried to outgrow that. Not always successfully, as Mr. Ellis might tell you, but we try.
Captain, yours is a most confusing species. Perhaps I should spend some time thinking about it before I talk with you again.
Captain's log. The missing starships have been restored to normal size and are about to return to their assigned missions. It was horrible, Mr. Spock. Trelane recreated one of the greatest tragedies in human history. I've seen a lot, but even that...
The waste of lives is appalling, even when one operates by pure logic. When one considers what those millions of lives that were lost might have done for humanity had the war never taken place.
Well, now that we've taken care of business... Ow! I'll have to see Dr. McCoy about my shoulder.
Something happened, Captain?
Mr. Ellis and
I see. Are your differences settled?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Spock. We each won a game of zero-G squash, but I'm afraid he was called back to the Zimbabwe before we could have a rubber match. I think I dislocated my shoulder with a rather wild swing in the second game.
Then logic suggests that your injury would have caused you to lose the match.
I suppose so. He's a good player and a good officer. I'm putting in a request to bring him on the Enterprise.
That should be fascinating.
Hello, Captain. I'm Captain Gernsbeck of the Shinobi. I thought I would thank you personally before we left for Cephas 5.
A pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Have we met before, Captain? There's something familiar.
Perhaps we did, on some other planet, in some other star system, sometime long ago.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
I've reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. I am very pleased with your performance. It was a perfect mission, Jim. Your reputation as Starfleet's best starship captain is secure. Kane out.
Captain's log. While exploring an uncharted star system in the Deneb sector, we received what we think is a message from a distress beacon on Onias 2. We're en route to investigate.
Save new game. Replace previous.
Okay, guys, so 3 episodes. I want to go ahead and take a break. So yeah, this is the older Judgment Rites game that came after 25th anniversary. It's available on GOG, should you be interested in it. It uses DOSBox. It's pretty functional. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I'm going to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.